I want to play a game. That is the iconic words of Jigsaw, but in the iconic words of Fog Entertainment, we want to rank a game. Welcome back, guys, to the channel, and it is now time to rank every single game in the 3 seasons of Squid Game, or as I like to call it, 2 seasons, because let's not get it twisted. Season 2 and Season 3, it was just 1 season split into 2, and it was a bit of a disaster if you ask me.
It was a disaster, and I'm giving you the answer, alright? But you know what? At least Season 1's games are included, but despite Season 2 and 3's, mediocre levels that they hit, I don't think the games were overly bad. To me, it was the actual characters, and I do believe if you switch the characters for Season 1 and put them in Season 2 and 3's games, it would have just automatically improved them, so I'll defend Season 2 and 3's game a wee bit.
A wee bit, but overall, they weren't great, right?
No, they weren't, but I would argue the uniqueness of Season 1 definitely helps.
True, but I think there was just so much potential for the games in Season 2, Season 3.
To go up a level.
I seen trailers and just people predictions, and like some of the games that people were predicting or like even just making up and editing looked really good. Like there was one called like Human Chess, and I thought, oh, that's got potential. And it's just we never got it. There was like a laser tag one that I seen. People were just speculating all these different types of games, and in the end, the last 2 I think were extremely disappointing. Kind of just rip-offs of Season 1. But with that said, Season 1, let's get into it. We've got 5 categories: S, A, B, C, and D. So yeah, S is obviously top tier. D is you were pretty damn shite. So are we taking into consideration how the games played out, or are we just basing it on the actual game itself? So
I think we've got to take both into consideration. Right. I think you have to combine both. It'd be unfair to be like, here, Sky Squid could have been fantastic, but they absolutely fucking ruined it. I'm factoring them both.
Alright, fair enough. Well, up first we have Red Light, Green Light. It's the first game we're introduced to. It is the only game that gets played twice here, so I don't know if Red Light, Green Light, maybe that's the introduction game, maybe throughout the entirety of Squid Game, what has there been, 35 editions of it? Something like that. Maybe Red Light, Green Light's played every single time. We won't know. I guess we will maybe know in the American version if they still have the same game, but Red Light, Green Light up first. I think it's a good game to start with. It's something simple that doesn't really boggle the mind and that everybody can play, and it gives everybody a real chance. I don't think you're disadvantaged based on your age or your gender or size or whatnot. No, I mean, you could argue that if you're 80 years old, you're going to be disadvantaged no matter what game you're playing. But I think Red Light, Green Light is probably one of the fairest games to start and to give everyone almost like a level playing field in the beginning. So I like Red Light, Green Light. It's simple, and I will put it in A. I agree. A for me.
Well, I think Season 1's was definitely better, but that's because we didn't know what it was. Season 2 was good because they added in Ji-hun. I've played these games before. No one really believed them. But you know what? I think both seasons utilised it correctly. And it's not quite the greatest game of all time, but it's a damn good game at the same time.
Yes, right. Up next we've got Dalgona, which is basically the cookie cutting game where you have to cut a shape out of this like cookie shortbread type material, biscuit, and obviously if you get a tougher shape, it's going to be tougher for you. Now, in Season 1, we are Woon Sang, or one of our main characters. He kind of finds out what the game's going to be, and he doesn't really help his buddy Ji-hun. He leads him into picking the umbrella, or at least he could have prevented him from doing so, and he almost did. His conscience almost got the better of him, but then he thought, fuck it, I want to win this money. He can pick the umbrella. I think that was probably the best part of it. Yeah, there was a wee funny scene when Ji-hun starts, the sweat starts dripping off him, and he realises, here, if I start licking this, I can make it easier to cut. But the actual game itself, in my opinion, pretty boring. I would put it in C.
I'd put it in C as well. I also thought this was going to return for Season 2 to a degree, and they were going to make like the shapes completely impossible, but
I seen that as well in trailers, like fan-made trailers. It was like crazy. I seen like it was like a triangle but had like 20 different triangles inside. It was like
serrated edges
aye,
and
so,
all that shit. So
coulda-
I would agree with you. I think it's like the baseline of a game. It's good, but it's only really as good as the
As the
reveal.
players.
Yeah, it's only as good as like the reveal as the actual shapes you have to draw.
Right, yeah. Up next, we've got Tug of War. 10 people on each side. You have to pull your opponents through the middle, and if you win, then they fall to their death. And I mean, it's a solid game. I thought in season 1 with Ji-hun and his tactics, it was a wee bit. Not Ji-hun, the old man, Il-nam. Oh, I played this game before. It don't matter what age you are, or if you're a man or a woman. It's all about the tactics. I mean,
it really does matter, mate.
I don't know if tactics really would come into it that much.
No, tactics come into it. Like, say you had equal strength on both teams, and tactics absolutely. But when you've got number 1 and Ji-hun, a bunch of old decrepit guys and women, I mean, realistically, that team should lose.
Right, if you've got 10 Ji-huns and you've got 10 Brock Lesnars, and that's the two teams, 10 Brock Lesnars versus 10 Ji-huns, I just don't think it really matters what tactics Ji-hun's employing. I just don't think they're beating the Brock Lesnars.
Don't even think Brock Lesnar would have a struggle with 10 Ji-huns.
Well, I think we're going down the whole gorilla story here again, but for me, yeah, tactics can help, but if you are so outgunned and outmuscled, then I don't think tactics are going to. I think tactics can make up for a little bit of a strength disparity, but if it's a major difference in strength, then tactics aren't really going to help you. I thought the games though were pretty good. I'd probably put Tug of War in B.
Yes, and also half the playing field, didn't it?
Right, did you agree with B?
I agree with
your thoughts on it?
No, it was a good game. I enjoyed it.
Right,
no complaints.
Up next, I've got Marbles, a very emotional game. We see a lot of characters die again at half the field again, so we just see half of them go, half the players getting eliminated. At the end of the day, I mean, you're just playing fucking marbles with people, so it's not. I mean, it's not some mastermind of a game. But I think it's the emotional impact and the tension and the betrayal as well that was in there, and you see the goodness and I guess the badness in people. One thing that pissed me off is with Wu Sang, how he was supposedly a bastard for what he did to Ali, even though Ji-hun was trying to take advantage of Il-nam and use his dementia to win this game. Do you think both of those guys were willing to basically, do dirty-handed tactics to win this, but only Wu Sang gets called out on it?
Well, absolutely. Wu Sang does probably the dirtiest player of them all. I mean, that he did Ali absolutely rank rotten, but
yeah, but what about Ji-hun? He was lying. He was telling Il-nam, oh no, you said even when the guy says odd and should have won.
Yeah.
And he was stealing his marbles because he thought the guy had dementia.
Pissy pants, like.
So how's that fair?
No, it's really not fair, and Ji-hun thought this guy died. The reveal didn't come till later on that big number 1 is the number 1, but he did. Yeah, you're right though. I think there's a few examples throughout this show of Ji-hun not exactly being the most honourable man, but he kind of gets still portrayed that he is. But I like that it tugged on the heartstrings, but it is very basic. You could have very easy. I don't think like season 3's characters would have worked with marbles because there just wasn't enough good people.
Yeah, I'm tempted to put it. I think it's between B and C. I think in terms of a game, it's C, but I think for the drama that it gave, it probably deserves to be elevated into B.
I'll agree with that. Behind Tug of War.
Right, Glass Stepping Stones, probably my favourite game.
Yes.
Of season 1, maybe of the entire series. I think there was like 18 stones, 20 stones, and your number obviously matters a lot. And yeah, especially when you have a guy that can figure out tempered glass, that definitely brought a more intriguing fact to it. And then also you had some people in some rivalries as well, and if they're beside each other, that can help. And it means sooner or later you see the time ticking down, and people are going to stall, or people are going to push others. But you seen it, like some people would fall off or push somebody off, and that's the but see, think about it. if you're up first, you probably don't really give a fuck because you know you're dead anyway. But you are hampering the chances of people behind you. There was a couple of people that fell off here and didn't even get to test the glass, and that's just one potential glass that you could have passed. So if you're behind and you see, if you're last or you're like further halfway down the line and you see someone getting pushed off by another player and they don't even get to show you the next stepping stone, which way to go, what a waste of a life that is. And then you had the woman that took down Mr. Snake Tattoo. That was two people going through one glass. When in reality, the person behind's thinking, well, fuck, that's another step I could have got forward if they didn't kill each other. So yeah, no, I think there was like tactics and stuff you could use, and
To me, it's easily the best game. It was just the odds difference between going first and last just added it to me, and like the picking of the bibs in preparation was brilliant. The ending was great. The middle part was great. The start was great. You know the guy, like you said, with the tempered glass. I can't fault this game. To me, like Jump Rope in season 3 tries to replicate this game and
doesn't,
fails.
does it?
It fails drastically. It's like you look at like Takeshi's Castle with the stepping stones. It's so similar to that, but with a deadly twist.
Probably, no, if I had to criticise it, I'd say the fact that it cuts in between the game and the VIPs. That's probably the one negative I have, but I would argue that the VIPs were a lot better in Season 1 than they were in Season 3. So with that said, I think we'll put it in S.
Yep, absolutely.
Right, up next we've got Squid Game, the original ending here. You got Jihan and Woo-Sang competing. One player's on the offense, one player's on the defense. I think the defending player has to push their opponent outside of the lines, and the attacking player has to stand in front of the squid thing. The squid. Yeah.
It's just a bit shit. It's like sumo wrestling in in the shape of a squid.
I mean, that's one way to describe it. I did really like the twist though, and the fact that Woo-Sang basically sacrifices his life because he doesn't want Ji-hun to end the games and leave with nothing. And maybe he's not happy with some of his actions that he's, that he's shown in season 1. So he decides to kill himself, sacrifice himself, so Ji-hun gets the money. I mean, I did like that part. And for me, the only reason why I'm not putting this so far down the list is because of the two characters that played it. But for me, if you got like two no-names playing this, then I think it would be shit.
I understand why the last games can be so simple. I do. I understand that, but as you pointed out, the only reason this game is even worth talking about is due to the fact who played it. It's too basic for me.
Yeah, I would probably put it in C. I think I put it above the shapes, just because the two players that played it.
I would agree with that. Right, moving into a season 2 exclusive.
Hey, six-legged Penathlon. I like this. So obviously, they've got 5 players tied up. That creates six legs, and you've got 5 different little mini games in there. Yeah, no, I thought it was a very good game. Like the wee theme song that was playing during it as well. I'd probably put this in maybe B.
Yes,
or maybe A. I don't know, B or A.
I'd put it top. I'd put it top of B. I think the only problem I've got with it is it is very repetitive, and I know with a lot of these games they are repetitive, but when you're seeing 5 games get played by one group of 5, and then you keep seeing them get played over and over and over again, that was my only problem with it. But again, I guess you could literally argue that about every single game here. But I feel like with this one, it was taking the piss a wee bit.
Well, not really, because six-legged, it's like some games players or teams go at a time. So like Tug of War and six-legged Penathlon, you could definitely agree with that. But for example, hide and seek, that's just like the one continuous game. Or red light, green light's the one continuous game. So it's not like you don't take turns.
Yeah, not every game, but
it's not like red light, green light.
A lot of the games.
No, but it's not like red light, green light. 10 people go at a time. And then once the 10 people are done, they put 5 minutes back on the clock and another 10 people go. Some of these games are just one continuous game, whereas some of them are players take their turns at going.
Well, do you agree, B?
Aye, but I don't agree with your analogy, like, or whatever, but anyway.
Well, a lot of the games are similar to it.
What are you on about?
Where they are a bit repetitive.
Well, I mean, I'm going to disagree with that, right? But up next, I don't know actually what you're talking about. I'm saying some of these games are just played from the beginning to the end, whereas some players are taking turns. So
Yes, but
if players are if
about.
players are taking turns and you're watching different players play a game 20 then yeah, it's going to feel a bit repetitive. But that's the difference between six-legged panathlon and tug of war. Yeah, those are being played multiple times because there's different teams. But games like Dalgona or Red Light, Green Light, it's the one game that's just been played from start to finish.
Squid Game suffers from being repetitive as well, though, because it's just three different shapes and you have to push somebody off each one.
Right, well, let's just move on then. Right, we've got Mingo. You want a Mingo? I thought this was a pretty good. I definitely think the season 2 games were better than season 3. I liked Mingo. I'd put this in B, or maybe even A. I don't know. I think Mingo was good.
It was a good wee tune as well, with Thanos singing it, drugged it. Very good, Digash. Yeah, I would.
You have to get into the room, and obviously it's different numbers, and I mean it does because you can have a group, but with the fact that the numbers are changing constantly, it means you're having to leave your group, you're having to get members to go, you're having to add members. So it definitely was interesting in that regard. So I would say, where are we sticking it? Big Mingo.
I would put Mingo. It can mingle on in behind Tug of War for me.
Tug of War.
Because, you know, I like the fact they're only getting like 10 seconds worth of, time to decide what they were going to do, and also the different numbers added to it. Changing the numbers up of each room prevented it from being repetitive. I mean, obviously it would have been a bit. I mean, the game doesn't work if they're like, right, each time you get 10 seconds and 5 people are allowed in each room, because then guess what happens, folks? If the same group just stays together, they had to do it.
Exactly right. Up next, we've got the season 3 games, and spoiler alert for me, the games got worse, I think. Every game.
They did. Hide and Seek. Remember, I thought Hide and Seek had so much potential. And then it just got, you realise quite early, like, this is a bit fucking silly, isn't it?
Yeah, I was a bit disappointed with it, but I do think that the game itself was pretty good. And there was some okay moments, some good betrayals, some funny scenes, a lot of major character deaths, so it didn't, by no means did it suck.
I think this game would have benefited
Actually,
more players.
The one thing I didn't like about six-legged panathlon was we didn't really see any named casualties.
No, here we did. Yeah, in games, obviously.
But see, to be honest, I would argue the same with Tug of War. Do you not think? I think you can make a case that, see, the team games, they just get rid of teams that there's just no noticeable players on.
Names, jobbers. But I think Hide and Seek suffered for having like not enough people, because what you had was, I thought the concept was a bit flawed when even after you went through, you could kill people. And I understand that it's kind of good because it means like someone can go on a massacre and like also take 10 people the hiders out, and then that takes 10 people the seekers out. I understand that, but I think that's why it would have worked with more people. And I also mean, that's just got half a kill, so we need to get 0.5 more. It was just a bit cringe.
It was a bit lame.
Ji-hun as well, I thought he was just a bit of a fud in this game.
Yeah, the other people he could have killed, he decided Daeho was the guy he should kill. I mean, to me, that was a bit... I don't think it was fair. For me, it's B. I think it had potential to be higher.
Put it this way, right? Say Daeho was a woman, and he ran back to get the guns, and her arse folded, and she got scared. Is Ji-hun holding this vendetta against her? Absolutely fucking not.
Yeah, it felt very forced, honestly.
And then what, because old grandma kills herself, man, Ji-hun's like, that's it, I'm going to look after the baby now. I mean, come on, Ji-hun, man. Butchered the character for me. But as for the game, I thought it was alright. Some really sad deaths in there.
I'm thinking B.
It was quite simple. Yeah, I think it was a better version of Marbles. It was more hands-on.
That's where I was going to stick it.
I think that is the equivalent of Marbles, I'd say, from season 1.
This is equivalent of Marble?
Well, like if I was to compare it to a season 1 game, I would say hide and seek is because it's kind of a one-on-one hide and seek to a degree. But then when you had there was two going around killing loads of people.
Right, up next we've got Jump Rope. To me, straight away you just see the similarities to Glass Stepping Stones, but it just was nowhere near as good. When you actually look at it, I think this game seemed way too easy. Especially when you've got player 100, who's like this older man, and you just seen him how do you think they seem to cross the bridge easy? And even then, he's waiting on the other guy moving out the way, and he's just jumping, and you feel like he's got it covered. It's like, when you initially see it, I'm thinking, oh, this looks tough, but I think when you see all the players just holding position and constantly jumping and sort of, I think it looked too easy in the end.
See, Jump Rope. To me, it's easier than Red Light, Green Light. Red light, green light, you can't move, you will be shot, and you need to make I
think I'd rather do red light, green light, to be honest.
No, I understand why you would rather do red light, green light, but I think considering red light, green light is the first game, and this is the second last game, I don't think the difference should be that close for me. And it's simply just a case of the equivalent of them jumping every 3.5 seconds is like in red light, green light, where you just stand still. Now here, what could you argue? Is it easier to stand still under that pressure, or is it easier to time a jump every 3.5 seconds? I would probably rather stand still, but some people aren't very good with their nerves, and therefore might rather jump.
I don't know how you... one way I'd play... it's a bit of a segue, but one way I would play red light, green light is... See, when they say red light, how long do you think you actually have to stop?
It seems like you had around about a second, I'd say.
Do you not think the best way is sprinting it and then just tossing yourself on the ground?
Probably.
Or do you think by the time you toss yourself on the ground and come to a stop, you're moving?
But then what happens if you toss yourself to the ground and you sprain your ankle or something, and then you're in that much pain, you need to accidents happen if you're flogging yourself to the ground. That's the problem. Honestly, red light, green light's easy enough if you just. But then it's the pressure, man. It's alright us saying that your arse would fold. You know what I mean?
Anyway, jump rope.
Too easy, because like you said, 100 guy, other guys are just standing there jumping.
Many people were left for this.
The only people that... I think it was 25.
I know only 9 made it through, but do you not think like most of the deaths came from the players killing each other rather than... Because let's say that guy didn't get to the other side.
And people got scared.
Yeah, let's say that guy didn't get to the other side, right? And he wasn't blocking people and pushing people off. I think most people, other than Yun-Hee, would have passed this.
I agree, and I think if you look at the success rate of this compared to red light, green light, I mean, this has probably got a worse percentage pass rate, but like you pointed out, that guy's literally openly killing them. If you take away his kills... And then people who got stuck due to him.
Yeah, I reckon pretty much everyone passes this, other than Yun-Hee.
Yeah.
And maybe you have like 1 or 2 that
obviously the junkie guy, he went first, but that was different. He got caught.
That was a good death.
Yes.
But yeah, for me, this game kind of was too easy. But I thought it was alright. I'd stick it in B.
I'd stick it bottom of B.
Bottom of B main marbles.
Right, up next, this is D every day of the week.
Sorry, the game...
You know what? It could be played a lot better. Like, see, to me, I think I think there's ways this can be better than the original Squid Game, but I cannot forgive some of the worst television I've ever seen.
And it didn't help. I mean, the game's not great, but the no-name characters that we were left with certainly did not fucking help.
We'll draw lots.
We got our lunchbox.
He's a teacher. I know this one had a big brain in him. Maybe we need to watch it. Do you think we might need to rewatch that game in Korean or something? Without the English dub?
That's not going to make
any difference. The game's awful, man. You know, there is no... To me, this is just a cash grab, these last 2 seasons. It's almost like they just fucking ran out of ideas on how to end this show, because there's no way... Whoever creates this and the people at Netflix watch this game and go, aye, we done that's the best possible final game we could have done. Not a fucking chance.
Definitely not. Anyway, guys, that is it. We'll catch you in the next one. This has been the Squid Game tier list. And leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe down below. Let us know if you agree with our choices or if you disagree. And we'll see you next time. Till then, though, Peace.